morning, everybody. Today's I'll be teaching you topic on MTP Act. What are the indications of MTP Act? What is the conditions for performing MTP, and also the amendment of MTP Act. That is the amendment done in 2021. During the last 30 years, many countries have liberalized their abortion laws. The worldwide process of liberalization of abortion laws continued after 1980. So today, only 8% of the world population lives in countries where the law prevents abortion. The MTP Act was formulated in 1971 by the Government of India, and it basically aimed at improving the maternal health by preventing unsafe abortion, legalizing the abortion services, and also promoting access to safe abortion services for women. An amended MTP Act was passed in 2002, and this act clearly defines the indications of MTP, that is medical termination of pregnancy. Also, it defines the persons who are qualified to perform the procedure and place of implementation of MTP. Now, first of all, dealing with the indications of MTP, the first indication is when the continuation of pregnancy, it constitutes risk to the life or grave injury to the physical or mental health of the woman. Second indication is pregnancy caused by rape. It is also known as social indication, and there is a presumed grave injury to the mental health of the woman. Third indication is contraceptive failure in married couple. Here also presumed grave injury to mental health of the woman. Substantial risk of physical or mental abnormalities in the fetus so as to render the fetus seriously handicapped. This is also known as eugenic indication. Coming to the indications of MTP in detail, now firstly, therapeutic or medical termination, whereas the indication is to save the life of the mother. Currently, the indications covered under this scenario, they are limited and they are scarcely justifiable nowadays, except in the following conditions. The first is cardiac diseases grade 3 and 4 with history of decompensation in the previous pregnancy or in the interpregnancy interval period. Secondly, chronic glomerulonephritis, malignant hypertension, intractable hyperemesis gravidarum, cervical or breast malignancy, diabetes mellitus with retinopathy, and lastly, epilepsy or psychiatric illness with the advice of psychiatrists. The second indication comes as social indication. This is the sole indication and it is covered under the provision to prevent grave injury to the physical and mental health of the pregnant woman. Currently, in about 80% of cases, this is the most common indication of MTP nowadays. In about 80% of cases, it is limited to parous women, that is, who are having unplanned pregnancy with low socioeconomic status. And also, the social indication covers the condition where the pregnancy is caused by rape or unwanted pregnancy caused due to failure of contraceptive device. This amounts to around 20% of the cases of social indications. Lastly, eugenic category. This is done under the provision of substantial risk of the child being born with serious physical and mental abnormalities so as to be handicapped in life. These indications are rare. First category is structural abnormality like anencephaly or chromosomal abnormality like Down syndrome or some genetic abnormalities of the fetus like hemophilia where it is incompatible with the life of the fetus. Secondly, when the fetus is likely to be deformed due to action of teratogenic drugs like warfarin or radiation exposure more than 10 rats in early pregnancy. And thirdly, rubella, that is a viral infection affecting the first trimester. It is also an indication of termination under the MTP Act. Now comes the gestational age to be decided till what time the MTP is permissible. Now this we are telling you according to the old MTP Act, that is the original MTP Act 1971, which was formed in 1971. Now they said that MTP can be performed up to 20 weeks of gestation. But here the condition is if the MTP is being done less than 12 weeks, then the opinion of only one registered medical practitioner is required. But if the gestation age is from 12 to 20 weeks, then the opinion of two registered medical practitioners is required before proceeding for the MTP. Now coming to the consent, pregnancy can only be terminated on the written consent of the woman. Husband consent is not legally required. Also, pregnancy in a minor girl who is below the age of 18 years or a lunatic, that is a patient suffering from mental illness. Pregnancy cannot be terminated in these two conditions without written consent of the parents or legal guardian of the woman concerned. Also, the abortion has to be performed confidentially and to be reported to the Director of Health Services of the state in the prescribed form. Now, who are the persons qualified to form MTP according to the MTP Act? Firstly, any registered medical practitioner or a person whose name is with the recognized medical qualification or whose name is entered in the state medical register, or any person with experience in gynecology and obstetrics. Coming to the details in the revised rule, a registered medical practitioner is qualified to perform an MTP provided one has assisted in at least 25 MTPs in an authorized center and having a certificate, or a person who has got 6-month house surgeon training in obstetrics and gynecology, or a person who has got diploma or degree in obstetrics and gynecology. Now coming to place where the MTP can be performed, this can be any place, any hospital which is established or maintained by the government, a place that has been approved for the purpose of MTP by the district level committee, which is constituted by the government with the chief medical officer or the district health officer as the chairperson of the committee. And termination can only be performed in hospitals who are established or maintained by the government or any other places which are approved by the government for performing MTP. Now, pre-procedural preparations for MTP. Before proceeding for MTP, we should take a detailed history from the woman regarding her LMP, last menstrual period, any chronic medical illness. Then we should proceed with clinical examination. We should try to ascertain and confirm the gestational age before proceeding for MTP. Gestational age can be confirmed from LMP or clinical examination, or even ultrasound can be required if there is doubt regarding the POG, that is period of gestation. Before proceeding for MTP, counseling should be done regarding the choice of procedures available depending on the period of gestation in which MTP is being done. Also, counseling should be done regarding the possible complications and also regarding the further future contraceptive advice or sterilization as required by the woman. Lastly, certain investigations are also required before proceeding for MTP. These are hemoglobin and hematocrit, blood group and RH type, HIV, hepatitis B surface antigen screening, and also urine sugar and protein. Antibiotic prophylaxis required for MTP. Antibiotic prophylaxis is recommended for surgical abortion since randomized trials have shown that it significantly reduces the frequency of post-abortal endometritis. The antibiotics are given on the day of the procedure, and the options include doxycycline 100 microgram orally twice a day, or ofloxacin oral 400 microgram orally twice a day, or ceftriaxone 1 gram IV 30 minutes prior to the procedure. Coming to the RH prophylaxis to be given to a person who is undergoing MTP, RH typing should be done for all women undergoing MTP, and if the mother is RH negative, RH immunoglobulin should be administered at the following dosage. 50 microgram of RH immunoglobulin should be given if the MTP is being done at gestational age less than 12 weeks. and 300 microgram is to be given if the gestation age is more than 12 weeks. Postmortem contraception. After medical or surgical management of an early pregnancy, termination or loss, ovulation may resume as early as 8 days. An average time of return to ovulation after abortion is almost 3 weeks. Thus, unless another pregnancy is imminently desired, effective contraception is initiated to help lower the future unintended pregnancy rate. Contraceptive advice to be given at a time of MTP. Contraceptive choices should be discussed prior to the procedure with all the women, and the type of contraception offered depends on the woman's preference. Tubectomy can be performed along with the surgical termination or following medical termination for women who have completed their family. Secondly, immediate post-abortive insertion of intrauterine devices. It is safe and practical, and it is recommended by WHO and also the American College of Obstetrics and Gynecologists. Expulsion rate is slightly higher in case the IUCD inserted immediately post-abortive, and the woman should be counseled regarding this. Prescription for oral contraceptive should be given at a time of discharge from the hospital if the patient desires to have OCPs. Now coming to the recent amendment which has taken place in the MTP Act. We all know that the original MTP Act was formed in 1971 and the original amendment was done in 2002. But currently in 2021, the new Medical Termination of Pregnancy Amendment Act amendment took place. And this amendment, it expands the access to the safe and legal abortion services on therapeutic, eugenic, humanitarian and social grounds to ensure universal access to comprehensive care. The Rajya Sabha has approved the MTP Amendment Bill 2021 to amend the MTP Act 1971, and this approval by Rajya Sabha was done on 16th March 2021. Basically, this can also be called as the Medical Termination of Pregnancy Amendment Act 2021. It shall come into force on such date as the central government may, by notification in the official gazette, appoint. So that means presently the amendment has taken place in 2021. It has been approved by Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha, but presently it has not been notified. And so currently this MTP Amendment Act 2021, currently it is not in force now. The amendment has taken place, but currently it is not being followed because the notification has not yet taken place. Now coming to the salient features of MTP Amendment Act 2021, how it is different from the previous original MTP Act 1971. The first difference is enhancing the upper gestation limit to the patient who were being covered under legal MTPs. Earlier, as we have read that the MTP Act, original act, it covered the gestational age till 20 weeks as legal age limit, legal gestational age limit for legal abortions under MTP Act. But now in the Amendment Act, the upper gestation limit has been increased from 20 to 24 weeks for special categories of women like survivors of rape or victims of incest or other vulnerable women like differently able women or minors. Also, there has been no gestational age limit, no upper gestational age limit in case of any substantial fetal abnormalities which are diagnosed by a medical board. So this is very important. The gestation age limit has been increased from the 20 weeks in the original act to the 24 weeks in the Amendment Act 2021 in case of rape survivors or other vulnerable women, and there has been no upper gestational age limit in cases of women who had substantial fetal abnormalities, but these abnormalities, the condition is they should be diagnosed by a medical board. Now, opinion needed for termination of pregnancy. Earlier in the original act, we studied that opinion of one registered medical practitioner was required for termination up to 12 weeks of gestation, and opinion of 2 RMPs were required for termination between 12 to 20 weeks. But now in the Amendment Act 2021, opinion of only one RMP registered medical practitioner is required for termination of pregnancy up to 20 weeks, and opinion of 2 RMPs are required for termination of pregnancy between 20 and 24 weeks of gestation. Also, it is important to know that opinion of the state level medical board is essential for a pregnancy to be terminated after 24 weeks, which is allowed in the Amendment Act only in cases of substantial fetal abnormalities. So only in cases of substantial fetal abnormalities, the pregnancy can be terminated after 24 weeks, but these abnormalities should be should be confirmed by a state level medical board. Now coming to what should be the medical board, every state government or union territory, as the case may be, shall by the notification in the official gazette constitute a board to be called a medical board for the purposes of this act to exercise such powers and function as may be prescribed by rules made under this act. Basically, this board shall consist of one gynecologist, one pediatrician, one radiologist or sonologist, and also any such number of members as may be notified in the official gazette by the state government or the union territory. Ground of failure of contraception. Also, this amendment states that the ground of failure of contraception, it has been extended to both the woman and her male partner. Confidentiality of the MTP. In the Amendment Act, it has been clearly mentioned that the name and other particulars of a woman whose pregnancy has been terminated shall not be revealed except to a person authorized in any law that is currently in force. Earlier also, confidentiality was expected from the doctor, but earlier the fine was just up to 1,000 rupees. But now in the Amendment Act, they have put a strict focus on maintaining the confidentiality of the woman. So now whoever contravenes the provision of the subsection regarding confidentiality of the woman, he or she shall be punishable with imprisonment, which may extend to 1 year, or with fine, or with both. So the law is made more strict regarding confidentiality. Now, what is the significance of MTP Amendment Act 2021? Since we have read that this amendment, it will increase the gestational age limit to up to 24 weeks in person like rape victims or minors, and more than 24 weeks also in person who had significant fetal abnormalities as diagnosed by the medical board. So by increasing this gestational age limit for the women to be allowed under the MTP Act, it will increase the access of the women who may have missed the opportunity to get the MTP services at a lower gestational age or at 20 weeks. So it will broaden the access of legal MTP services to the women by increasing the upper gestation age limit. So this new law will contribute towards ending preventable maternal mortality, because we all know unintended or unwanted pregnancy will result in increased maternal mortality. So by ending the preventable maternal mortality, it will help in meeting the Sustainable Development Goals 3.1, 3.7 and 5.6. What is Sustainable Development Goal 3.1? Basically, it pertains to reducing the maternal mortality ratio. Sustainable Development Goal 3.7 and 5.6, they pertain to universal access to sexual and reproductive health and rights. And the amendments will increase the ambit and access of women to the safe abortion services and will ensure dignity, autonomy, confidentiality, and justice for women who need to terminate the pregnancy. Thank you.